Welcome to Game Day Men's Health in Green Hills in Nashville, Tennessee. We are a men's health clinic. We're doing a lot with testosterone replacement therapy. So welcome to our clinic. What you'll be able to do is get your blood work. We'll send it back to our in-house labs. We'll test your total testosterone, your PSA, and then your H&H as well. So we'll get those results within about that 20-25 minute mark. You'll be able to sit down with our licensed clinician and go over your results. We do a lot with medical weight loss, vitamin injections. We have a few ED services as well. And then we also do a lot with peptide therapy as well. And it is something that you want to move forward with if it makes sense. You should be in and out in about 45 minutes.
Yo, what's going on, Fit Fam? Welcome back to another episode of Nashville Fit Podcast, brought to you live from the Game Day Men's Health Studio. I'm back with my girl, Savvy Sav. It's been a minute, Sav.
It's been a minute. I missed you.
You know I'm the jealous type, so
Yeah.
I don't like seeing you with other guys.
I'm sorry, nothing happened.
Okay.
Except conversation. We just had a conversation, I promise.
That's what they all say. That's you know what I mean? Sometimes I've heard that, Sav. Nothing happened. We just talked. We just sat up and talked.
No, I'm loyal. I'm loyal. Trust me. Ask all my exes.
I love it. What's going on, man? I've been
Where you been?
well.
What have you been up to?
I went island hopping a little bit. Can you tell I'm a little,
Yeah, I can
You
see that
it?
shorts tan a little bit.
Wait, this was darker. You can see
it.
the length there.
That's pretty.
Which is it's kind of perfect because of who we have on today. But we'll jump into that later before we jump into that. But yeah, I had a little vacation. It was my anniversary, so
How was
we
that?
take a annual vacation.
And you said some really nice things about your wife that on Instagram. I was just tearing up at.
Yeah,
And
that's my baby.
the soft side of Jarrell is my
Soft
favorite.
side, yeah.
I love it.
Nobody sees that, and believe it or not, no one believes it when I'm the affectionate one in the relationship.
Yeah.
She's like, get off of me, please. I'm a hugger. Kid, like, come here, show me you love me. She's like, yo, chill. Like,
I can totally see that just by what I've heard about your wife and the way that you've talked about her. She, like, I already know she's a badass, and I haven't even met her, so I can totally see her being.
yeah, she's very like, okay, that's enough. I'm like, yo, sit by me. Come, like. She's like, yo,
Call me.
yeah, hold me, tell me you love me every day. She's like, yo, chill, please, leave me. I married you. That's not enough. Like,
Man,
what more
to
do you
be a
want
fly
from
on
me?
the wall for that kind of conversation, to see Jarrell in that way.
Man. Yeah, not many people get. That's why I have to be so hard out here in the world, man. Because that's what I go home to. Like,
Hey, you
that's
have to have that contrast, though. People are like multifaceted, and they think like the personality you are like at work is like what you are all the time,
Yeah.
and it's like yes, that's still me, but like also there's like this whole other me.
Yeah.
I do all these other things. So.
She's definitely my soft spot. Like if I had her and my daughter.
Well, that's how you know she's the one.
That's how I knew.
Yeah.
That's how I knew.
She got you.
She got, man, like
She got you.
real me.
Got that heart all melty. Whenever you see her,
I'm a Cancer,
Love it.
so that's why.
Yeah.
I'm
man.
emotional.
But you don't show it much.
I don't. So here's the thing.
You have to feel.
There's multiple emotions.
Okay.
People think emotions are only like sad, cryy, wimpy. Like fear is an emotion.
Layers, baby.
Anger is an emotion.
Yeah.
Passion is an emotion. Like all those things. I'm all those wrapped up.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you got a tan. You celebrated your anniversary.
Celebrated my anniversary.
Right
Ate a lot of
on.
bad food.
Man,
a lot of tequila, Terry.
That's what you do though on vacation.
Yeah.
Because you live a
100%.
lifestyle. And when
didn't
you live
work
the
out.
lifestyle, when I come back, it's game on. But
Game
right
on.
now, it's game on with this poo-poo platter I got right in front of me right now,
I was gonna go somewhere else with that, but yeah, let's go with the platter. Let's go.
Well, what even is in a poo-poo platter? What even is that?
I have no clue. I've never
Do you
heard that
know?
word in my
A poo-poo
life.
platter?
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Really?
Did
I've
you just
heard of
make
it.
that up?
No,
That doesn't sound delicious.
I've heard of it, but like I know it's a thing.
Okay.
I want someone to educate me on it.
Okay.
I don't know what it is.
I would think it would be something you put under your newborn baby.
That's what I was going with. I was like, that sounds
There you
delicious.
go.
Like, if you offered it to me, I'm
Well,
like,
there
I'm
is
okay.
a joke in I think Bug's Life where it's like the poo poo platter. It's in a. Let's
Bug's
move on.
Life. That's
Or
where
under-
we ended up on the Bug's Life.
Under your puppy, maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
We are, yeah. So we're going to get into my gorgeous tan, but first we have to talk about our guest today, Dr. Berti. Am I saying that right?
That is correct.
All right. Who is a dermatologist.
No,
I'm
not a cosmetologist.
Not a
dermatologist.
cosmetologist.
So a skin doctor. We got all the questions, especially about how like we know that the skin is the largest organ on your body, and how that alone affects your health.
When did you learn that?
Sometime.
Waiting
I
at the
feel like
train.
that was like a biology class, like staple fact,
Yeah, I
like
feel like
mitochondria being the powerhouse
yeah.
of the cell. It's the same with like skin being the largest organ in the body,
Probably
and everyone's
somewhere
like,
in there.
"Can you believe it?"
Yeah. Now we have a lot of different products that people are coming out with that are good, bad, and different. We're gonna jump into all of those things, but first, we gotta jump into the basket of debate, right?
Basket of debate.
Is that the
Can
song?
we have like a
Did I
little
miss
song
that?
for it?
I think you should come up with it.
Basket of debate.
There
No,
it
that
is.
sounds
There.
like-
Loop that, Trent. That's what it is. We're looping
I'm gonna
that
write a little jingle for
every
it.
time.
Stay tuned.
We jump on.
Okay, so I'm gonna grab one. We will all each grab one, pass it around, and then we do have another segment at the end.
I got
that
it.
is a little different than this, but we'll get there when we get there. This one we can read it, talk about it, debate it,
You wanna
or
go
all
first?
agree. I'll go first. Eating local cuisine versus sticking to familiar food. Who's braver when faced with mysterious street food?
Out of all of us, I would say you guys probably. I don't eat mysterious stuff.
Yeah, define mysterious.
Like especially when you say you lost
Like,
me
if
at street
someone,
food,
like,
so I
random
automatically
is
think like,
like, hey, eat
I
this
think like
taco.
Thailand or something like that. Here are these like grilled roaches. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not.
There's nothing mysterious about that, though. You
Yeah.
show me a grilled roach, I'm not eating that.
If it's local, would you eat rat?
No.
No.
Ew, gross.
Trent was like, maybe if it, they grilled it right.
The craziest thing I think I've eaten is alligator because I was in New
That's the
Orleans.
craziest?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And shark.
I might have you beat there.
Tastes like chicken.
It was kind of like chewy, but
it's a
yeah, it
little
tastes like
chewier.
meat. I
I've
mean,
had rattlesnake.
okay, wow,
Yeah.
that's wild. Where did you have that?
In Florida, yeah.
Dang.
I mean, they eat it, yeah.
Yeah,
Cook
I
it, eat
mean,
it.
frog legs, they do that here. I haven't
frog
actually
legs.
had frog legs.
I had frog legs. What about you, Doc?
Yeah.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever eaten?
It's actually ironic. With my family, when we go on trips, we actually prefer to go to the street vendors.
Okay, yeah.
Whether we're in another country or even at a tourist location.
Versus
Because frankly,
like
we're a little tired of the same old, same old.
Sure.
You can go to a restaurant
you're
and they
going there.
all have Brussels sprouts
Yeah.
and Caesar salads
Yeah.
and a chicken dish.
Gosh,
I mean, who
that's
wants
so on
to?
point.
It's not that healthy, right? And that's your field, not mine. Well, it's mine too.
No, you're right.
But it's boring.
yeah,
And so we will look for a truck with foods that we've never tasted before.
I like that. Yeah,
It may or may not be healthy. We can make healthy choices,
Yeah.
but it's also funner and it's less expensive.
I'm with you on that.
Have you ever heard of conch? Mm-mm. So
From the shell?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so we eat conch in Florida, and they have it in the Bahamas. My wife doesn't eat seafood at all, but so conch is pretty much it looks like a large snail. If
Okay.
you like, but the shell is so
It's like mussels. It'll be like a giant mussel.
It's like a giant mussel,
Yeah.
but the
Okay.
shell is probably the shell they blow through like the horn. That's a conch shell.
Oh,
Right.
I see.
So the organism that lives inside. So we eat that, but we eat it like take it out, chop it up live, lime.
Ooh, live?
Yeah.
It's alive?
Well, not after you chop it up, but
Chop it up while it's alive? Yeah. I'm
yeah,
out.
chop
I'm
it up,
out.
lime, different onions, peppers,
You sure
and
you
you just
don't-
eat it.
you
Conch
wouldn't win
salad.
this one?
So it's delicious. Like, but my wife is like, "Why are you?" And I was like, "I grew up on."
Someone else
Yeah.
can cut up a live animal for me. I might try it, but like it's the same thing with like lobster. People put the live lobster in the pot. I'm like, you can do that. I'll eat it later. I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch you put a live animal.
Wow.
I'll eat it though. I'm not like that
It's just
diehard
like-
like animals' rights, but like I
Yeah.
will not be
After
able
you
to
kill
like.
it, I'll eat it. Yeah.
I don't even know if I could tell if a conch was alive.
No,
Really.
well, if you
It doesn't
saw-
run away.
No, but like they'll pull them out of the water. You'll make them out of
yeah.
the boat right there. Yeah. Doc, you want to go with yours?
My
See what we
question?
got. Yeah.
When visiting tourist traps versus off the beaten path, who has the best I can't believe we did that moment? Or moments.
I've had some pretty.
Yeah, let's say you
interesting
yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
There was one time, and I wouldn't say this was like because of me. This was definitely an accident, but we made the most of it. It was actually a fun memory for me. In Costa Rica with my girlfriend at the time, we had a rental car. In Costa Rica, if you ever drive there, it can be kind of like sketchy in some areas. And we thought we were going to be able to make it to one town, which was miles away from the town we were in. And you have to drive through the mountains. And there was rain. It started raining. And when it rains, there was rivers and stuff that can crest over. And we had been driving for so long on this like dirt like road, like in this little SUV, and just like already kind of like ready to get there, right? And we're going to the beach and everything, so we're excited to get there. We get all the way through this mountain on one path. There's only one direction. And long story short, it had rained and there was no path through, but the locals were telling us, you need to turn around. And we're like, we're not turning around. We've been driving on this road forever. We are going through whatever it is. Jeez. And we drove through some pretty crazy shit. And then we finally get to this one part where I got out of the car, she got out of the car, we look at it, and we both just look at each other like, we gotta turn around.
So like the locals were right. Like,
yeah,
you probably
but it was a crazy, but before we got to like the one point where it was really not gonna happen, we had driven through rivers and like up rocks. We were like basically in a Land Rover commercial, and we were having a great time, like laughing about how this was like, crazy. Not ideal, but also like we're having an adventure. This is what it's about. We had to turn all the way back around, drive through the rain. The locals saw us again and laughed at
told
us.
You.
And we ended up getting there, but we had to go all the way back around. It was just this crazy, but we ended up laughing about it. I thought it was fun. And so off the beaten path for sure. That's one story that I have. I've definitely I've gotten lost on vacations. I like to move and have activities. I'm not like the lounger vacationer, Mm-hmm. So what about you guys?
I have to keep mine PG-13. Please. But that's not on the board, Terry. It is PG-13. PG-13 is on the board. Okay, never mind. I'm sorry. I thought it was just the F-bombs. I was literally trying to think of something that like, I don't know that when we go places, we don't do a lot of adventure, like especially like that type of, only because like a lot of it is like I'm a protector by nature, so I don't want to put my wife in a situation
totally
that I know we can't get out
of.
I
bet she's probably the one that's like, Jarrell, we're doing this.
No, she is like, I'm the adventure person, so but I have to manage that, right?
Gotcha, yeah.
Like if I'm alone, I'll do almost anything.
Sure.
But with her, it's like I know.
Yeah.
It's different.
Things.
Yeah, it changes the dynamic of it. So like we don't do a lot of exploring like where like alone and stuff like that. Like I remember like we wanted to go to the
That's
club.
Probably how I'll die. You'll
the
hear
club
one
in
day,
Jamaica.
like,
we wanted to go.
Died trying to climb over a rock.
Well, we wanted to go to the club in Jamaica one time, and like the resort people were like, "Yo, we got to send somebody with you because like, yo, that's just different out there." And I was like, "Yeah, I get it's a third world country, technically with just beautiful beaches." And he was like, "Nah, like for real, somebody has to go with you." And she was kind of like,
I don't know about this.
So did you do it or not?
So no, we didn't go just because she didn't feel comfortable, and I was like I don't have I'm here by myself, like with her. So I'm fresh
like,
meat. You know what I mean?
Like adrenaline junkies, but then there's like a line that you can. It's like if you're gonna take out the fun because it's that sketch and that like dangerous, and like all right, people
Doc,
are different.
You, what you got?
Mine's a little crazy in light of recent news. And this is the story. So we're in Hawaii with our family, and we're in Hawaii. So you want to see something nature, something that you do not see in Tennessee.
Totally.
Like the jungle or the ocean or something. And my family basically came to the conclusion that they would never go in the helicopter thing or the small plane thing and fly over the volcano. It's a very popular thing. It's a touristy thing in Hawaii. Sure. So I found an ad for a submarine. And a submarine. I know. Think about it. But this was a couple years before the bad submarine.
I was gonna say I know what.
So I thought to myself, okay, we're not going in the air. Nobody will be scared. We'll pull up to the dock like going on a boat trip, and we'll go in the submarine and we'll go around a little bit and look at the fish and come home. And this is what happened. We get there and we get on a boat to go meet the submarine out in the ocean.
Oh.
So we get on this boat and we drive out there for like 45 minutes to an hour. You can't see land anymore.
Oh, wow.
And they drop anchor and they said, okay, everybody, let's wait for the submarine. And a few minutes later, out from underneath the water rises the submarine. And myself, my wife, and our small children had to jump from the boat onto the top of the submarine and go in the hatch.
Nice.
Not exactly the safest thing. Then you go underwater, and I think they only went down 120 feet, right? But theoretically, it could have exploded or hit something just
yeah.
like with the Titanic thing.
Did it look like they had Nintendo controllers in there? Like the one that...
I wasn't really paying attention. I was making sure that I could breathe.
Yeah.
I know, it gets a little weird.
How did it feel inside? Like, was it claustrophobic or did it feel like an airplane?
It was like a 2-row seated theater kind of thing with windows all around you.
Huh.
You were in a submarine.
Question.
What?
Would you go in a submarine now?
No, they would let me go by myself,
Right.
but I don't think I could convince them again after what happened
Right.
before. And granted, they were thousands of feet underwater.
Yes.
But the
In
reality
like a brand
is,
new, like, we haven't
if
tested this thing
anything
yet.
broke, none of us could swim to the top. Wow. So now I can't believe we just did that.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
that's wild.
Yeah.
Submarines are such a crazy concept.
Yeah.
Well, should we move to the last one?
Yeah.
Let's try and like speed through this one so we can get to skin stuff.
This one's easy. Which is the superior water park, fair, or amusement park snack? Funnel cakes or churros?
Churros. Depends on, because I've had some bad ones, but I've also had bad
churros?
funnel cakes.
How do you have a bad funnel cake?
There's not enough like sugar on it.
Really?
It tastes like just bread, like fried bread. Yeah, I've had some pretty bland funnel cakes that were just like pumped out. Like we got like 80 of them back here, and here's your funnel cake. You know,
Yeah.
like keep it under a heater. But churros, like I feel like you can't go wrong because like it is sugar. Like it's a sugar stick. Obviously, you disagree.
I'm gonna go fun. I love a good churro, but
Funnel cake.
I'm
Less
gonna go
messy.
funnel- it's-
Same
Yeah.
glycemic index. Less messy.
Wow, you know that about funnel cakes, and I don't.
Yeah.
Well, I do enjoy both of them, but I'm disappointed that fried Oreos was not on the list because that obviously takes the cake. Pun intended.
Never had
On a
one.
roll today, guys. Okay, let's move on. Sherelle's judging.
I've never had one. I can't.
You've never had a churro?
A fried Oreo.
Oh, well,
No.
we're going to the fair. NFM pod team goes to the fair. So Sherelle can have a fried Oreo. It'll change your life. Just letting you know.
Yeah. Okay.
I haven't had it either.
Dr. Berti, so you're a skin doctor. Let's talk about skin health. I can already tell you that everybody cares about this. Like, even if it's like not to the degree that someone else does, I think everyone does care about it in a way that makes sense for them. But why should we care about skin health? Because let's just get into that.
Well, if you think about it, and you did your reading a little bit on, what the skin does for us and why it is there, its primary purpose is to protect all the other organs. It's the gatekeeper.
Right.
Okay. And it's intuitive that you should take care of this very special function of your body, because if you don't, something else will happen to somewhere else in your body, not just the skin.
What's an example
eventually.
of that?
Well, for example, if you put too many chemicals on your skin,
Okay.
you can get sick.
Right.
Okay. If you don't maintain the integrity of the surface of your skin, it can get infected, which can make you sick. All right. So the skin not only protects those internal organs, but it actually helps maintain their health and what we call their homeostasis, or their balance with one another.
Do you feel like the majority of, like, I guess, let's talk U.S. population is like taking good care of their skin, is healthy, or do we have a problem? Do we need to like be better about it, like as a whole?
As a whole, I think as a whole we're doing okay.
Okay.
But we can be misled, just like anything, just like in fitness.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, fitness in the 80s was one thing. Fitness that in the industry of fitness in the 90s was different. Same in all of medicine, and especially in skin, because this organ is right in front of us and we can see it every day and we can do things to it. We can decorate it. Okay. So we can take care of it. We can ignore it, but it's still going to be there. All right. And we can't do that with our liver or our pancreas.
Right.
Thank God. Because if you saw your liver or your pancreas every day, right. If you saw your heart beating every day, you would freak out.
Yeah.
Because
I think we'd have a lot different beauty standards.
Exactly.
That's for sure.
Exactly. So to that end, I think that humans, and actually all animals, and we don't have to get into all of that, take care of their skin because it actually reflects upon how they feel about themselves and how they present to the world. And that ultimately reflects upon how successful you are in finding a mate and surviving. And that's why it hits our brain to take care of it and pay attention to it disproportionately to many other things, sometimes disproportionately to our diet, our mental health, and our internal health.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you could find somebody who smokes 3 packs a day, but is obsessed with their skin.
That's so
It doesn't make any
wild.
sense,
That
does
doesn't
it?
make any sense.
No, it doesn't. But it does when you think about how if your skin looks bad, you will look and feel unattractive. You will not really get into your weight program or your fitness program,
Right.
or socialize or look for a better job.
It's the first thing
it's a
people
confidence
see
thing.
is
Exactly.
like your face, your skin. Right. Yeah.
Right. So it's really complex, and it's fun to watch and help people manage. And I have to do that in different ways, and we can get into that here or another time. But I have to discuss these things in the context of those sorts of issues almost every day.
What are like some of the most common issues that you see when people come into your office with like skin issues?
What I tell my staff is folks come in because they're either annoyed or afraid or both.
Ooh,
Because,
dig into that.
well, annoyed. I have this rash. It itches. It hurts. It's unsightly. I've done things to it. It's still there. Is it going to kill me? No. Most of the time. Right?
Right.
Sometimes, yeah, but we don't have to get into that. But, most of the time they don't want it to be there. Okay. Not because they'll be that much healthier if it's not, but because it's hitting that part of their brain.
Right.
Again, there's something wrong with me.
Yeah.
I can see it. If I could see my pancreas or my kidney,
It's red,
right?
it's itchy,
Exactly.
it's not right.
So those are the
Yeah.
annoyed ones. And I have to give them advice, whether it's medical or nutritional or behavioral or all three, to make it better, or they'll never feel that they're better.
It's interesting you say behavioral, because a lot of the time in fitness, when it comes to people not hitting their fitness goals, like, whether it's aesthetic or functional or whatever, I always look at things like sleep and nutrition before I'm looking at like how much are you working out or how little are you working out, because a lot of times stress has a lot to do with why someone might be not making progress. And if you just can get a handle on your stress levels, it might fix a lot of the issues that you're dealing with. How does stress play into skin and having issues? Do you feel like people, because a lot of the time I'm seeing clients like not even look at stress, like they're like not even looking at that as a possible solution. Is fixing that might fix my weight loss issue or my plateau or whatever. Does that happen with patients of yours where the issue might be just relieving stress?
Stress
is there
can be
more to it?
it could be a doom loop in dermatology.
Okay.
For example, one can get stressed for a good reason. Divorce, death in the family.
Yeah, it happens.
Right? And they start to get rashes we call eczema, psoriasis, acne. Okay. And this is a direct result of being stressed first.
Direct result.
Yes.
Stress first. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. There's no doubt.
No
You can
way.
lose your hair from stress. A lot of people know about that. That's pretty
Yeah.
common. Okay. And all sorts of organs are affected by stress. But again, we can't see our pancreas and our kidney get stressed. But you
Right.
can watch your skin get stressed.
Yes.
At the same time, you can watch your skin change and become more stressed. Just like we
Wow.
described before. It becomes a doom loop sometimes in dermatology where you have to address the stress.
Yes.
Or you'll never be able to intervene at all in getting the whole process to stop.
But I feel like people will look to other solutions like, doc, just give me a prescription. Doc, just tell me what topical cream I need. Doc, just tell me like what my skincare routine needs to be. And maybe stress might be the last thing they look at. I feel like that, I've seen friends of mine like, or family members who might have acne that they've struggled with. And it's like, they've tried all the things, all the pills, all the things. And it's like, you're stressing about it more and more, it's like, I feel like that might be compounding onto why the issue persists, so that makes total sense to me. That's wild.
It absolutely. And frankly, I've been chief resident and I'm a professor at the Belmont University Medical School. I ask the students to remember to ask about these things because you can give them that proverbial pill, which will work at first. Okay. But the stress doesn't go away. So it'll tamper down a rash or acne or other things, but it'll keep coming back.
It's a
and
Band-Aid.
eventually, it might sound like greed, but your patients will think you're a failure
Mm-hmm.
if you give them something that only somewhat works, and it only somewhat worked because you didn't address the stress in the first place.
Wow,
And it's
yeah.
hard. I mean, we're not all trained to discuss stress. Sometimes doctors don't have the time
Sure.
or the interest. That's not me, but it's a difficult thing to go through, and it leads to all sorts of other conversations. And at least making the patient aware that that's a contributing factor, I hope, sends them home with that message, and they at least think about doing something about it.
Okay, yeah.
Right. And then I hope that I've been seeing better results over the years with other, with rashes and other things that should otherwise be routine.
Yeah, it's crazy that the literal direct source of like common things like psoriasis and eczema and acne are all, come from stress first. That's
Not first,
okay.
but at least half the time.
Okay.
It's a factor.
Okay.
I mean, you could put contaminated cream on your face and get acne. That's not stress. That was a bad choice.
I had a dermatologist tell me.
Yeah, the same disorder can have 10 different causes, which means there isn't one fix for that disorder.
Right.
You see? So dermatology often is a conversation, not just a prescription.
It's not like there's a lot of things that factor in.
I could tell you if you have cancer or not without speaking to you.
That's crazy.
But I can't tell you why you have your rash usually without speaking to you.
Yeah.
So it's different.
You had mentioned before we went on air that you can usually look at people like you'd be in an airport and you can tell like what their skin issue might be.
Sometimes.
Without even like talking
often.
to them. Yeah.
Yeah, every dermatologist can.
Wow. That's why. So what are some of the things that you notice?
Well, there are certain rashes that are associated with autoimmune disorders.
Okay.
They have very distinct patterns and colors and locations. And these are actually questions on our board exams because there's nobody there speaking to you during the exam. They just give you pictures.
Sure.
And they'll give you a picture and they'll say, which metabolic disorder does this person have? And you have to choose. They're vitamin D deficient. They have lupus, or they have lymphoma or leukemia. You can tell these things just by looking at certain things on the skin.
That's wild.
Not always,
Sure.
but often.
Yeah. And it's like Jarrell and I were chiming in on that about fitness and how like I will see people just walking around an airport and notice like their gait or their feet or the way that they're holding their upper body and posture. It's like you can tell all of these things by just looking at a person and what they might need in the gym. So that's pretty fascinating. What is like something that like, as a doctor who works with skin and this is your niche, this is your thing, what is something that most people don't know about skin health? Like that you would want people to know?
I'm glad you asked that. So I imagine when each of you go to the grocery store and buy food. Okay, you can't always buy organic and vegetables all the time. You need to buy a few things that are in a package or whatever. I think most of us, at least the younger generations, have been taught this, and most of us know to just turn the product on the backside and look at all those ingredients.
Yes.
And even a pizza, which could be completely organic, has 35 different ingredients.
Yes.
I'm trying to compel my patients to look at the ingredients of the products they're smearing all over their skin. Okay. For example, you've heard of the nicotine patch and the fentanyl patch. Okay. Medicines, it's been proven, and it's a thing now. You can buy prescription medicines as a patch because it goes right through into your skin and gives you medication.
Right.
Okay. There's chemotherapy, very powerful things that you can just absorb through your skin. Okay. Have you ever heard of The Wizard of Oz, the movie?
Yes.
So the very first Tin Man died
What?
because the paint that absorbed into his skin. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Absolutely.
That's why he died?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
The second Tin Man survived it, and they must have changed the
They
formula.
probably figured out
Yes.
what they need to be putting on him.
Right. So whatever that silver paint was, absorbed into his skin and killed him. And there were no lawyers back then because it was the 1920s.
Oh my God. Now I want to dive
Or maybe
into like
earlier.
what was the ingredient that killed it? Like what
I used to
was
know
the
it.
process?
I used to know it.
That's crazy.
So the point is this: if you take your favorite shampoo and your conditioner and your moisturizer or your sunscreen, and you look on the back, you have to be willing to take all 30 ingredients in individual jars and smear it all over your skin and feel healthy about it before you should buy that product.
But how do we know, like, food is a little different? Like if I buy something apple flavored, I know apple should be probably the first ingredient. With dermatology, it's going to be a bunch of
I know.
acids or what?
I know.
So how do we know? What
It's a learning process, and that's the point.
that?
We need to be educated because they change the names of these ingredients. For example, like a dye, we'll say
Right.
like a yellow dye, can be sold by 10 different factories. And one will call it yellow dye number 5, and the other one will call it, cyano, whatever. And it's actually the same thing.
Yeah.
But our lotions and our creams, if you think about it, they can only have a couple different bases. They have to be water-based, they have to be Vaseline-based, or they can be alcohol-based. All right?
I've seen that on
we can't
labels.
use acetone-based things or toxic-based things. And the government sort of regulates this too. So they all start with one of those 3 bases. And just like making cupcakes, they just throw in some dye and they'll throw in some, this and that. It smells a little different. It feels a little different. All of these products are reiterations of the same thing in different combinations. And dermatologists who've been studying these things can look at the back and see these ingredients like, oh, wow, there's a little more of this than that in this one. And then there's less of A and B in the other one. So they're all just reiterations of the same thing. And they're not all exactly healthy for us. And they haven't really even begun to look into how much of this actually gets absorbed and what it does to your body. And that's scary.
Yeah.
Would you just eat random things? No.
No.
And I feel like we're at this stage because everybody wants to make money. It's $1 billion, more than that, probably a $2 billion industry just in the United States.
Yeah. So
right?
there's probably tons of products.
Right,
out
right.
there.
So if you can take 20 ingredients and mix 17 of them together in a new formula and market it correctly, you're going to make money. Right? Doesn't mean it's healthy. It doesn't even mean it's necessary for your
marketing,
skin.
I bet, plays a huge role in that.
Right.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's healthy or necessary or that it does what it says because nobody's checking.
That's food.
Yes.
Keto, big letters on the package. It's like,
Right.
you'll lose fat fast. It's
Exactly.
Like,
So,
not necessarily.
Back to your original question, we should be scrutinizing the ingredients of our skin products and our hair products as much as we scrutinize the ingredients in our food products.
I'm inclined to ask, but I also kind of retracted my question as you kept talking because originally I was going to ask okay, what should we stay away from? What are there certain chemicals? But then I remembered, and as you were talking, it's a conversation, and I think everyone has different skin. Obviously, we're different people, and one person might really benefit from a certain ingredient, and one person might really not need to have that certain ingredient. Is that right, or is it are there chemicals or ingredients in there that we should all be watching out for? Do not put this on your skin.
Well, unfortunately, what happens in medicine and our society is a lot of bad things have to happen before the government and the FDA or just the public in general figures it out. Like, for example, you've heard of PABA? There's PABA free sunscreen or chemical.
I have, yes.
Fragrance free
Yes.
things. And
yes.
why does that even exist today? Because so many people developed so many rashes to this particular product. They figured it out through suffering, by the way.
Trial and error.
That this is affecting more people than we would like. So we're going to limit the exposure to this particular product.
Yeah.
That happens in medicine too. A medicine or a vaccine or something comes out and it's thought to do something good, but sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
And it's pulled only after the suffering. We're all just a big experiment for these things.
A lot of the time that's nutrition with my clients.
Exactly. And there isn't research on every single little ingredient in there. And frankly, when you buy a moisturizer, for example, they list all 30 ingredients, but they don't tell you how much is in there. It could be a little or it could be a lot. Yeah. All they have to do is rank it. The highest concentration of ingredient is A, the next highest is B, et cetera, and most of it's water or alcohol or a Vaseline, petroleum they call it. And so we just don't know who is going to react and how badly they're going to react until it's all recorded over time. And we're all the guinea pigs right now.
Yeah.
We're the guinea pigs for many things.
Yeah.
So I have an extended question, but it's on topic. No, this was on topic.
All right.
Should men and women and or black and white people have different skincare routines?
Good question.
I think that they should.
Okay.
And it's actually further than that. Old and young may have different needs. Okay. Outdoor workers versus indoor workers. Everything that you're exposed to, everything that you eat, everything that you drink, everything that you do, and the color skin you were born with, okay, and your gender and your hormones. Gender means hormones to the dermatologist, okay? how much hair you have on your body or no hair at all. Okay. What the quality of the water is like coming out of your shower. Okay. You think about it. Your water is not just water. There's chemicals in that too. Okay. All these things factor in. And that's why dermatology, as far as the reactionary dermatology or the rash world, is a conversation.
The reactionary dermatology, the rash world.
So
Yes,
you actually,
it is a rash world. I'm telling you. I just made that up, by the way.
Trademark.
You actually landed on one of my other questions, which I'm sure you've seen it because the clip has gone viral a million times. How often should we
Shameless
bathe?
How often should we bathe?
How often should we bathe?
Theoretically, you should bathe when you're dirty enough to suffer consequences from being so dirty. Theoretically. However, in our culture, if you don't bathe more regularly, you may look or smell, sort of unfavorably. And we're sort of forced to bathe more often for that reason.
So you don't think we should bathe every day?
Theoretically, you don't have to.
From a medical opinion, you don't
Correct.
think.
Theoretically, you do not have to.
Same with hair. I learned that. I don't know the details, but my mom told me that. And then I had girlfriends that were like, oh, you wash your hair every day? That's like not good for your hair. And I'm like, oh, what?
If
your mom said that?
Well, I've heard people talk about like if you're washing your hair really frequently, especially with like products,
that's chemical.
you can strip the like natural, nutrients in your hair.
It, does that matter?
I don't know.
Same thing with skin. Like I'm asking, like if you wash, because like I work out.
Right.
But I'm bald as well. But I still like wash my scalp every day because grease, oil, all that stuff builds up.
It's
but
still your
then
head.
I will still
still want it to be
apply
clean.
a moisturizer to it.
Think it's circumstantial again. So you probably get pretty sweaty. You probably touch a lot of dirty things in the gym. And therefore you're probably dirty enough to bathe that off, or else there will be consequences. You see?
Yeah.
So are there consequences to not bathing? Not should I bathe every day just by dogma? We don't do dogma in medicine. There's reasons that we do things, or it's supposed to be at least data-based. And
yes, it's science.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we try to stick to that, even in dermatology.
Yes. Yeah, that makes sense.
If you were to put a number on it, sterile environment, we stay at home for the week. How often?
You stay at home for the week?
How often are we bathing?
Do you smell bad or not?
I mean, depends. Depends on where you are. Like
every other day is fine.
Every other day?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just curious to see because
so if you're like one of those people that hates to bathe, we're not saying like you can get away with not bathing,
right? Because the clip, but I'm not sure if you saw it, and I don't remember what podcast it was on, but it was another dermatologist. She was like, "Yo, maybe once a week." If she's like, she doesn't make her kids bathe. If they swim, she's like, that kind of counts as a bath, so we just go to bed. But then I'm thinking chlorine's on your skin, so that's a chemical that we don't necessarily need on our skin. So that's kind of like, I don't know, I'll say in the black community, if you go swimming, you're going to bathe, right? Because it's chlorine on your skin. That's remember my mother telling me that you got to get the chlorine off of your skin. And then, we also dry out really easy. So we call it ashy. Like we get ashy. So then you have to, like, swimming makes us ashy. Have you ever seen a black person out of the pool for more than 30 minutes, things go bad, right? So you got
Well, for you as an individual, did you ever go swimming in chlorine and then not bathe because you just couldn't get around to it?
No,
meaning was there any consequences?
It's like literally straight from the pool to the shower.
Right. So you don't even know the consequences of not bathing after chlorine in theory. You just don't.
We don't.
Right.
No.
That's data.
Not for me.
That's actual data.
Yeah.
That's an experiment.
Which is why I've never had a...
Try it one day, and if you get a rash, call me.
No. See, that's a setup. You saw that? If you get a rash, call me.
Yeah.
That sounds like job security is what I'm hearing.
That's interesting, though, because my mom never said that to me.
No?
Nope. It was never like no one cared about like bathing after swimming and...
Just go dry off and
I
put
mean,
new clothes on?
What did she tell you about the sun?
She did tell me things a lot about the sun. I grew up with very fair skin, and I still have very fair skin. And my mom would always like, she's like, "You have Nicole Kidman skin. It's beautiful." I'm like, "Thanks." I'm like an insecure little teenager.
Love that we put a name on it. Like, yeah.
Right. Well, because like, like you want to be the tan, like hot girl, and it's like not everybody is blessed with like naturally dark skin. There's another one for you, Drill. So having really fair skin, my parents still drill the sunscreen. They never were particular about like what sunscreen or anything, but now that there are more products out there, like my sister is like, oh, you should get the sunscreen that doesn't have as many things. My sister's very on top of skin health because she's had a lot of skin issues. And so I learned a lot from her.
So what did your parents say about going in the sun?
So honestly, my mother. So my mother was a nurse, so she was really on top of it. But I didn't listen. But I've never had any.
I still don't.
I've never had any. But my mother's also fair skinned too. So like I remember like we would go to the beach and my mother would sunburn, and black people don't typically sunburn, but because she was so fair skinned, like she had to like layer. Like she's out there with the hat, everything. We're just like I tan super easy. Like if I go outside, like I'll get. Like if I show you old football pictures, like, yo, that's you. Like I'm like 3 shades darker.
I mean, you're tan right now. I can see the line difference. Yeah. That's cool.
So what you guys are really describing is.
So where I was going to go with that is also black people, because we have more melanin, we also know that we're not as susceptible to a lot of things that happen with the sun as easily, right? Sav and I could spend the same amount of time in the sun and it may affect her where it won't affect me. But at the same time, what I've noticed, like now that I'm bald, when I go to the beach, if I'll burn on top of my head. Yeah, if I don't wear a hat, I'll burn. And I've never burned before.
Oh my God, I have burned my scalp with hair.
Really?
It is the worst feeling.
I thought I was dying because we were in Cabo and I was shaving the next morning and skin was coming. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, what is happening? And my wife was like, what's wrong? I was like, on my head. And I was like, she's like, you just sunburned. I was like, yo.
It's horrible.
I'm like, I'm thinking like having a skin disease. Like it's just peeling off. And I'm like, what is that? Like,
I can so see you standing there like.
Yeah, I'm really like, I'm freaking out in there, Sam. She's like, yo, you just got sunburn, you're fine. Like just rub it and it'll come. Like I've never been.
You guys just answered the question for me. So your own unique experiences through your moms,
yes,
proved that your choices for your skin are sort of a subset or a consequence. They're a function of the consequences of the circumstance. If you went out in the sun without protecting yourself, whether it's a hat or whatever, consequences. Bad ones. Right.
Well, then the long-term consequences.
Not as many.
Yeah.
Right? You go in the chlorine, not too many consequences.
That's so crazy.
You, not so much, right?
Yeah.
Consequences. Well, so why aren't we doing that with our choices right now with all of these skin products? Why are we giving $2 billion away every year to Johnson & Johnson just because somebody told us that it should be done?
This is the product.
Like we have to bathe every day, right? Why are we doing this, right? You train people to do things, you help them see what's wrong and realize the consequences of their choices before, and you help them make better choices.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to do sometimes, most of the time, when the subject comes up in our office. And in conversation, like podcasts.
Right.
Yeah. So we're on the topic of products, and there are a million different products, and what we're seeing kind of like in the food world as well is like we're getting a lot of plant-based products. Does that matter as much?
Not really.
Is that healthier, better, worse, same?
Chemical is chemical. Plant-based, manufacturer-based, magically based. Okay, we break it down by the founding chemicals within the product itself. Okay, just like breaking down your foods to the very basics, the nutritional value of the individual thing. Like, there's a nutritional value to the pizza crust and the sauce and the oils and the spices and the cheese and all these things. That's how we break it down. Okay. So where it comes from doesn't matter as long as there is a scientific basis to the consequence of smearing this chemical on your skin. And again, if you look really carefully into it, most of the commercial products are just new combinations of the same old stuff.
That's
right.
A lot of
and that's why dermatologists seem, you can speak to other dermatologists and they seem very cynical about, I don't care what sunscreen you use or which lotion you use.
I've never heard of a dermatologist not caring which one you use.
You know what? Are they selling it or do they really care?
Well, with that, we're gonna take a quick break and come back and ask Doc what he does sell or does not sell.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it. are back. So off air earlier before we started, we talked about products. I asked you if you had any that you were developing or that you sold, and you said
I said no. I
And
don't
why-
sell one thing.
And why is that?
Well, I would lose a lot of credibility if I told you about how I do not trust a lot of the ingredients in all of these products, and none of them really impress me because they're just new combinations of the same old ingredients that they've been using for years and years. Then at the same time, try and tell you that I'm selling these products in my office. Okay. So I feel like I will not have credibility if those two things happen at once.
Sure.
Okay. So you've got to take a stand, or at least I think you do.
So imagine this: a doctor putting credibility over profit. That's amazing, man. Like
What?
that's
You're one of
almost
the good
unheard
ones.
of, right? He's definitely clearly
You're one of the good ones.
He is one of the good ones.
Well-
So let's ask a personal question. What do you use on your skin? It always says dermatologist
You're not going to believe me.
recommended.
You won't believe
What are
me.
What are you recommending?
I use nothing on a regular basis.
You don't wash your face?
No, I wash my face
With
with
just
fragrance-free cleansers.
Okay.
Okay, fragrance-free cleansers
Okay.
is what we're looking for.
But
Okay.
honestly, the cleanser has almost nothing in it.
Right.
Like I'll use, I don't know if I can't mention products, right?
Right.
But I'll use the most basic, inexpensive, fragrance-free cleanser that there is. Okay. Think about this when it comes to washes. They're on your skin for a moment. Okay. That's like swallowing a pill and throwing it back up in medicine. Okay. There really isn't anything out there that you put on your skin or your hair for a brief moment that has reliable expectations for results.
Wow, you just like
Right.
totally like
so nothing that
rocked a
dries your
bunch of
skin
people's
out.
world,
Like
I
if I
bet.
use
Well,
just
it
bar
depends
soap
on those
my
individual
face,
agreements. There could be
yeah.
a ton of alcohol in it that's called
Yeah.
propylene glycol.
Right.
Okay. And they put these alcohol-based products in there to get for spreadability issues.
Okay.
Okay. And some things need to be spreadable and some things don't.
Yeah.
Okay. And alcohol can affect different folks in different ways. Alcohol on the skin, that is. Okay. It can be drying.
Well,
it can be irritating. It
indigestion.
can make you itch. It could make you allergic. All these different things. Okay. So, what was the original question?
What do you use? Was my original question.
Virtually nothing.
Yeah. So my wife's.
I even try to avoid sunscreen. Now I do go out and I have a lot of good times outside.
Yeah, sure.
But I'll be that guy with one of those long sleeve shirts and wearing pants and a hat
That's the best
instead
coverage
of
you
a
can
ton
get.
of sunscreen all over my face because it's chemical.
So my wife's $400 12-step program is unneeded. I just need you to say that on the mic. I just need you to say yes or no.
Shots fired.
I see an opportunity for savings.
That's actually
I see a saving opportunity. Put it in a mutual fund.
So when I was like a pre-teenager, my sister and I both, my mom made us go see a dermatologist, and we both had like an appointment like back to back.
Why did she make you?
And I think she was just like trying to like show us the importance of taking care of your health and your skin.
That's cool.
So
a good idea.
And like getting a professional opinion on like, what is my skin doing? What is my skin like? I was blessed to not grow up with like crazy skin issues. I didn't have like really bad acne. I have pimples that pop up, but like I don't stress about them.
But that's
Because
more.
I know they'll go away.
That's more of a
But-
hormone issue, though.
True.
Yeah.
But I had started using a cleanser because my mom told me like you should wash your face, you should have a regimen, and she didn't really have any basis as to why. It was just like you should know how to
Bingo.
know to do this.
There you go.
Right. And I started doing it and I started breaking out. And I told that dermatologist,
Bingo,
like,
consequences.
when I use things,
There's
I
your
break
consequences.
out. And she's like, your skin doesn't like those products. Like that's why you're breaking out. You actually don't need to use any products on your face. Just wash your face with soap and water. That's it. And that's what I've been doing ever since she told me that. I don't have any problems. I've had like rashes and random things like pimples, like, you know, like anybody gets when they're stressed or have hormones like heightened or whatever. But I am blessed to not have had like really bad acne growing up, but I know certain people do. What is with like people who have like crazy chronic acne that they have had since they were a teenager? It comes back when they're an adult. Like how does that happen and like not happen to other people?
That's a month-long course in dermatology.
Okay. Too much to answer.
Well, we would say it's multifactorial, okay?
Okay, yeah.
And it depends on the age and the circumstances and the diet and the gender and the hormonal status of the person, okay? So a growing teenager has a different hormonal milieu, which we know will affect the complexion. I mean, it's pretty well known, okay? As opposed to maybe an adult male in his 40s who could be breaking out for a completely different reason.
Totally, yeah.
Okay. Statistically, when you're younger, it's hormone and diet more. And when you're an adult, it's circumstances and stress more.
Yeah.
You see, because we're not growing teenagers anymore in our 40s. So
Yeah.
something is going wrong, not necessarily really wrong, like you're not dying, but something is going wrong where your skin feels out of balance and you're broken out, or you have a rash, or like we were discussing before. So again, it comes down to the conversation.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Because I'll often say this to my patients: you're really broken out right now. We can all see that. How was your skin 6 months ago? Almost always they say, great. That's why I'm here. I'm annoyed. You remember that?
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about what your life was like 6 months ago. I don't even talk about their acne.
Just talk about the circumstances.
Or, and I'll find
lifestyle.
all sorts of things out, like, oh, my dog died, or we were forced to move, or I went on a fad diet, lost a lot of weight, gained it all back. That actually changes your hormones. All the different conversations we can get into. Yeah.
Well, it sounds a lot like
and it breaks you out.
What I do with my clients, like if they hit this like point where they're like, I'm frustrated, I'm annoyed, like with like my progress. I'm like, okay, well, what's going on in your life? Typically it's something outside of the gym, that we need to talk about, if not multiple things that are, factoring into why you're dealing with this problem. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and when it comes to products, unfortunately, you have to suffer through the failures in order to come to the right conclusion. And you came to the conclusion that less is more. Okay, and that at least half of the time is the issue. Like, guys, show me your inner arm right now, right there, your inner arm by your elbow. Beautiful skin, isn't it?
No, you didn't. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that's what you. No.
Well, yours is so big I can't see it.
You're flexing.
It's like,
So-
you should have
Look
led
at
with
it
that
again.
dog. Yes.
Where's my camera?
Right.
What?
Where's my camera, Trent? This one? What? Yeah. No.
So, we'll assume you're both over 21, okay?
Yes.
It doesn't look damaged. It doesn't look aged. It's perfectly smooth. There isn't a blemish on it, is there? On both of you guys.
Well, thank you.
How much product have you put there in your life?
Out.
How much product have you?
Inner elbows.
How much product do you smear on your inner arm?
0.
There you go.
Nobody does
I put
any-
lotion on
Yeah.
Yeah.
every day.
Almost nothing
I
though.
put more lotion on the elbow.
Just elbow? You don't do your whole body?
I will, but I don't ever think about it. I'm not like, oh, I better lather up the inner elbow right here.
We won't get into the details, but there are parts
Do
of
you?
your body.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Like
Make sure.
every
this is
again.
nice.
I think it's a cultural thing. I think like
Oh, totally.
like black people we believe in a lot of lotion. Like,
Yes.
like I don't know. Like
and
good,
I do
bad,
use
indifferent.
lotion, but yeah.
Yeah. Doc, before we get into stretch your inner leg, I wanna ask you just to put you on the hot seat. Ask you.
I'm not on the hot seat yet. Okay.
No. We're gonna
right.
just some basic yes or no.
Sure.
That's all I want questions. Okay. So I'm gonna throw some things outside. If you got some questions that you can think of while I'm doing
That's a
this,
ton. I mean, looking forward to
feel
this
free. Okay.
Are they derm questions?
They are derm questions.
Okay, fine.
Yes. I mean, unless you want, we
After
can throw
20
some other stuff in there now if you want to.
After 25 years, I should know the answer, but
Yes.
forgive me if I don't.
All right. I'm an eye patch guy. The eye patches right here. Yes or no?
What is the reason for that? What is your goal?
To get rid of the I'm sleepy look.
Did it work?
Sometimes. Depends on how sleepy I am.
Did you ever?
Especially before camera. Like
Did you
I'll
ever
put eye
factor
patches
out the
on.
sleep first
Yes
before
or no,
doing the
Doc?
fact?
Yes or no?
No.
It's a conversation, Jerome.
No.
Yeah, right. So he's like, I gotta dig a little no.
It's
I
a conversation,
I
yeah.
said
Okay,
yes
forget it.
or no. He's like,
Okay.
well, did you?
Then I'm going to default to no.
To no. Okay, micro needling.
No.
Okay.
Ooh, that was a hard no.
Hard no.
No hesitation on
Hard
that one.
no. Tattoos.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
High five, Terry, high
I was
five.
expecting to know there. Okay.
When done safely, there should be no issues.
Okay. Wow.
Thank you. God, you're just boosting my ego today.
I don't know what
my
it's
inner
called,
elbow is
but the little ball
perfect.
roller on your face.
That is a self microneedling, so it's a no.
It's not. It's just a roller, not the needle. So like, it's supposed to like increase blood flow.
No.
No.
I always thought those were kind of bullshit.
Okay.
I probably offended somebody saying that, but
Yeah.
I've done it and I'm like, this feels pointless.
Okay.
Your blood pressure
might feel good, but-
your blood pressure overwhelms the circulatory differences in your skin a lot. I mean, overwhelmingly over that roller ball.
Okay.
So you can't control that.
What if it's like an icy roller ball?
I think it'll work if you're hanging upside down and doing it.
Oh, that means your blood flow. Yeah.
I'm going to do that.
Right. She's like, bet. Exfoliating.
Definite yes.
Definitely yes. Okay. What was the other one? Chemical peels.
That's a form of exfoliating, so yes.
Yes. Okay.
Until the
love
point you
this,
burn
like,
yourself.
rapid
As long as
fire.
you don't burn yourself.
As long as you don't burn yourself.
You have
Okay.
more
Which
of
is
a
an
skin
injury,
routine than
not
I
a
do,
peel.
Jerome.
Yeah. Electronic scrubbers?
If they're exfoliating scrubbers, yes.
Yes.
If they're dirty and they get you, they give you an infection, then no.
Okay.
So it's user dependent.
You're so listen. Yes or no?
Laser.
Okay, fine.
Laser.
I was going. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Laser hair removal.
It works. Yes.
Yes.
Is it
There's
like,
science behind it.
will it have like any long-term negative consequences?
Nobody knows. We're all the guinea pigs.
I was going another one.
Okay.
Red light therapy.
Okay.
No.
No.
Interesting.
You knew
That's
it?
a hot,
Did you know it?
hot trend right now.
Right. That's why I wanted to ask.
Literally
People be
and
sitting there
figuratively.
with like a big ray of red.
Yeah. All right.
Sure.
All right. Mask.
Yes.
Yes.
It's an exfoliant.
Okay. So the ones that peel? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, masks naturally peel off a little bit when you take them off.
Okay. Okay. Shaving.
Yes, an exfoliant.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Botox.
Yes, science proves it. Scientifically based therapy.
Okay.
I actually, my mind was changed on Botox.
Yeah? Okay.
I've gotten it once. I haven't gotten it since, but yeah, I used to think it has to be bad for you in some way. It's not.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
Fillers.
Operator dependent. So, can I elaborate or no?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes.
Tattoos are inert materials that are stuck under your skin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Inert meaning your body ignores them, it leaves them there most of the time.
Right.
And, literally you can see through your skin the tattoo pigment. Fillers are the exact same thing.
Wow.
They're an inert material.
Okay.
They're clear tattoos, if you think about it, that puff up with water.
Okay.
And so I would be a hypocrite if I said tattoos, when done safely, can be injected under your skin and stay there if you want to.
Yeah.
Some do, some don't. I would be a hypocrite if I said the opposite about fillers. Okay. However, fillers take up space. I mean, you can get a bad tattoo and regret it. You can put in too much filler or put it in the wrong place and also regret it.
Yeah.
Luckily, the only difference is fillers disintegrate and tattoos don't. So they're not permanent.
Gotcha.
Love it.
Okay.
So there you go.
interesting.
Love it. This is a true or false. My aunt, when I was growing up, if I had a pimple, she would tell me I needed to get some. True or false?
Get some what?
Get some. How to keep it PG-13. Get some.
Oh.
I haven't tested that one. So
You know? So that's how you get rid of pimples. You
There's
gotta
no
get some.
scientific
no
test.
science there?
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
said this to you?
My aunt.
I want your aunt to be my aunt.
Mine's
She
pretty
sounds
cool.
fun.
She's pretty cool. Yeah. She's pretty cool.
let me
like a great time.
You can be the experiment. Let me know what happens.
Well, you said my skin is clear, so I'll
All
go.
right.
I'll go. I'll go.
Hey, and you know what we
there.
both have going for us, Jerome? Our inner elbows are fine and they are perfect,
They
according
are.
to the doctor.
Yes.
So
Less
I'm
is
gonna be telling
more.
people that all
Less
day.
Less is more.
Less is more.
Let's jump into Stretch Your Intellect. Today is brought to you by Defiant. Our good people at where's my camera, Trent? Defiance Fuel. It's your hydration special.
Can we do a slow zoom on my camera?
Yes. All right. Slow zoom. It's brought to you by our good folks at Defiance Fuel. So this one's a little different than Basket of Debate.
I love it. Mine is
these are
stapled
just
together.
these are just facts.
Okay.
Supposedly facts. I guess you can tell us if they're actual medical facts.
Okay.
'Cause today is all about medicine.
Medicine general,
have
not
one as
derm.
well.
Yeah,
I have
yeah,
one?
you have one as well, of course.
Oh,
And
let me see.
because you're the guest, we're gonna have you go first.
It's long. You ready?
Yes.
The Renaissance period marked a significant shift in medical practice with the advent of anatomical studies. Okay. Andreas Vesalius,
Sheesh.
a Belgian physician, is known for his detailed studies of human anatomy published in his book in 1543, which corrected many of previous publications by Galen and some of the errors by a different author. Okay. There is no question. That's all it says.
No,
Yeah,
it's
that's
just a
a
fact.
statement. It's just a fact.
Oh.
Yeah.
We're just like, oh, cool.
yeah. It's just a hey, cool.
That should be a fact. That's a fact.
It's a fact. All
Yeah.
right. All right. Mine is medical specialization and education. The 20th century brought about the specialization of medical practice with doctors focusing on specific fields such as cardiology, neurology, oncology, dermatology. Goodness. Medical education also became more formalized with rigorous training, certification processes established to ensure high standards in profession.
No doubt fact.
Fact, here's my question to you. Eastern medicine versus Western medicine, or a mix of both?
Mix of both.
Mix of both.
For sure.
For sure.
They're treating the same things.
Yeah.
And honestly, the ingredients used in Eastern medicine are almost the same as some of the ingredients in Western medicine. And we just created a better package and sold it for more money.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
Right on. I'm learning so much. Okay. Lastly, the development of modern medicine. The 19th century saw rapid advancements in medical science. The development of germ theory by Louis Pasteur and Robert Koch revolutionized the understanding of diseases, leading to better hygiene practices and the development of vaccines. The invention of the stethoscope by René Laennec, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, in 1816, and the discovery of anesthesia in the 1840s were also pivotal. I would say so.
Those are 3 different things, and they're all true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all true.
I'm so glad. Thank
How do
you,
you
Terry,
discover
for not giving
anesthesia?
me-
Like what?
You just put. You
Did
start
you
putting
find it
people
on the
to
ground?
sleep for not giving me any names.
Like, how do you
They,
just
they used to drink you to sleep,
like make you
like
drunk?
alcohol, until you passed out, and then they
Yeah.
would do the surgery.
Did you ever hear
Yeah.
about like Coca-Cola being like cocaine, like actual
Yeah.
like drugs in there?
That's
that,
why.
like,
Yeah.
Well, the very
Stimulants?
first one was
Addictive.
ether, and they used it during the Civil War for sure. So somebody was around ether and fell.
wow.
That's what happened. Really, that's what
Just
happened.
Take a deep breath right here. Now
Right.
you'll
And they
sick.
fell over.
If you think
Exactly.
about gasoline, if you inhale enough of
Uh-huh.
it, yeah, you'll get a little.
Yeah, you ever done the helium balloon thing?
No.
That'll make you lightheaded. If
Same,
You
same thing. So, all of these things were discovered by accident.
Until they
And,
figured out that
yeah,
ether
they were
would probably
discovered,
kill you.
because they harmed somebody or did something good
Yeah.
that everybody liked.
yeah.
Well,
And that's how we know things.
We like to leave our guests with the last word. So that can be a skin tip. It can be a regular life tip. Whatever you want to leave our people with. This is your time to do it now.
Well, we came back to the same theme every time, that less is more. Scrutinize your products like you scrutinize your food. Okay. And you scrutinize everything in life.
Scrutinize your workout routine.
Exactly. Because you don't need to spend a lot of money to make your skin look and feel good.
All right, that's probably music to a lot of listeners' ears.
They won't listen though.
Well,
I know.
if you're spending a lot of
Because
money
it's fun.
Yeah.
on your skincare routine, think about saving that and putting it toward a vacay or something. I don't know.
There you go. Or mutual fund, like Doc said.
You could probably have better, healthier, more glowing skin if you do less than what you're doing.
There you go. All right, well, we got to get out of here, Doc. Thank you so much for
Very nice.
Thank you.
taking
This
the
is
time
really
to
an
get us
insightful
in
episode.
and answering all of our, crazy questions about skin. Where can people find you if they need or want more info?
We are Nashville dermatology physicians in Brentwood. We're an all physician practice, always one-on-one with the patient. Okay. So you're not pawned off to secondary staff or not seen by the doctor or anything like that. And other than that, we're a private practice in a new fancy building in Brentwood, and you can look us up online. And, we take all the insurances like every other doctor. So the experience should be similar to going to your regular doctors, but different in our own dermatologic way. Okay. And
Dermatologic.
we have the dermatologic approach, but also the family practice approach, where we get to know you a little bit, because the things that we will give you to help you, okay, are your responsibility. Okay. Like you don't go to the auto shop with a broken muffler, for example, pick up all the parts with instructions and go home. They actually put it together for you. That's not the case in dermatology. We give you these creams and these pills and these things to put on your skin temporarily because there's science behind them. And you have to go home and do it.
Yeah.
Right. And if you're better, that's great. But if you're not, it could be that you weren't paying attention, you didn't follow the directions, or you didn't do it at all. So we need our patients to understand how to help us help them, because they're doing the work. I'm ordering the product, they're doing the work.
I think that's a key word is like you are doing the work when you're trying to like fix an issue like skin or like losing weight. Like there's work to be done. You can't just go to a professional and expect them to write you a script and be like, oh, if I just.
Or justify your workout with a latte afterwards.
Right. Yeah. You have to put in work, but it's worth it, So
Love it.
awesome.
Thank you.
Very nice.
so much.
And this has been
Restore
another
is your
episode
one-stop
of the
shop for
Nashville
all
Fit
of your
Magazine
modern-day
podcast,
wellness
back
and
in this
recovery
place
We
that
believe
we
in a
call the Game
multi-solution
Day
approach
Men's
to
Health
wellness.
Studio.
That's why
We'll
we
see you
offer
guys
different modalities
next
such
time.
as
I am
IV
Deidre
drip
Webb. This is my
therapy,
girl.
NAD
What's up? I'm
therapy,
Sab.
cryotherapy, red light therapy, hyperbaric oxygen therapy, and numerous others. Our services help our customers enhance athletic performance, boost mental and physical health, as well as aid in recovery at an affordable price. Whether you are an extreme athlete or just somebody who wants to feel better, we provide wellness services to help you meet your health goals. We make the world's most cutting-edge wellness services available at 225 locations nationwide. Taking charge of your health and wellness has never been simpler or more convenient.